welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my October reading list. Some of these books I've already read and I love to tell you about them. Others, they're on my they're on deck here, right here. So I get a lot of my books from the library because I read a lot and I'm not independently wealthy. So if I don't have the actual physical book here, I will put a picture up here so you can see what I'm talking about. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into the video. And I think I look really pale or yellow or something today. And I also got a new haircut and I'm not really sure if I'm liking it or not. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Enough about me. Let's go to the books. So, the first book, and I have already read this one, and I highly recommend it. If you watched my September favorites video, yes, September favorites video, you will hear me rave about this book, but it is called All the Missing Girls by Meg and Miranda. This book is so good, and this book in particular, and then the other two that I've been breezing through this month have, I mean, like I said, I just can't put them down. They're really good. And the stories just kind of suck you in and you just really want to know what happens or what's going on next. So I do highly recommend that. If you are in North Carolina, this book is set in North Carolina. I don't know if it's a real place or not, but hey, it's set in the mountains of North Carolina. It's a really good mystery thriller. Interrupted. The dog was barking. Not my dog. Babysitting a dog. Anywho, but I really love this book and I cannot recommend it enough. It is a mystery where a girl went missing like 10 years ago and then another girl went missing whenever the main character goes to visit her family. And yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of the same people who were accused of maybe doing something to the first person were kind of suspects in the second person. It's something else, but honestly, I normally can guess who the killer is or what happens. And in this book, no, I didn't quite get I think I guessed the first person pretty good. The second one, I was like, wow, didn't even think about that. But anyway, such a good book. Go read it. All right. The second book that I read is by Ruth Ware, who is becoming one of my favorite authors right now. And in the fall, I like to read mysteries, thrillers, creepy stuff, dystopian fiction, things like that. And Ruth Ware does not disappoint. I read The Woman in Cabin 10. And there are so many twists and turns in it that you don't know what's going on. And at the end, you're just like, oh, what happened? You know? It's, so the main character is on a cruise ship. She is a travel journalist. And it's like this big luxury thing. And in the middle of the night, she thinks she hears a scream. She looks out. She believes she sees a body. And it is just all the twists and turns with people not believing her, thinking she was drunk, accusing her of just like being paranoid, all kinds of things. And then in the end, she wants the crazy. But it is such a good book. And you have a pretty satisfying ending. I really loved it. So, third book, and I am reading this now. Oh my word. I'm going to read you the thingamajiggy here. It's called The Lying Game, also by Ruth Ware, and it is, the rules are simple. Tell a lie, stick to your story, and never, ever get caught. On a cool June morning, a woman is walking her dog in the idyllic coastal village of Salton along a tidal estuary known as the Reach. Before she can stop him, the dog charges into the water to retrieve what first appears to be a wayward stick, but to her horror, turns out to be something much more sinister. The next morning, 3 women in and around London, Fatima, Thea, and Isa, receive the text that they had always hoped would never come. From the fourth in their formerly inseparable clique, click. Kate says only, I need you. The four girls were best friends at Salton, a second-rate boarding school set near the cliffs of the English Channel. Each different in their own way, the four become inseparable and were notorious for playing the lying game, telling lies at every turn to both fellow boarders and faculty. But their little game had consequences, and as the four converge in present-day Salton, they realize their shared past was not as safely buried as they once had hoped. Atmospheric, twisty, and with just the right amount of chill to keep you wrong-footed, The Lying Game is told in Ruth Ware's signature suspenseful style, leading itself to becoming another unputdownable thriller from the Agatha Christie of our time. This book, I've only picked it up a couple of times, and I'm here. It's like last night I needed to go to bed at a certain time. I didn't even pick up the book because I knew if I did, it would be a couple of hours and I'd be like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? So that book is so good. Highly recommend it. Let me know what you think about it. I haven't got to the end yet, so if you've read it, don't spoil it for me. But yeah, let me know what you think. All right, so the next book is one that is for my book club. It got picked. And what we normally do in my book club is we all bring suggestions, put them in the hat, and pick them out. Sometimes we have like different, bowls or jars for different genres, and we pick. This one is The Wonders, and I'm actually pretty excited about this. This is by Meg Howry, and the tagline is, Howry's exquisite novel demonstrates that the final frontier may not be space after all, by J. Ryan Straddle. This is a mystery and like thriller, but it was actually the science fiction section of the library, so I was pretty excited. And it looks like it is dystopian fiction or something like that because it's set in the future. They're putting the first humans on Mars, and it looks like, yeah, it also says it's pretty funny too, so it has just a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of facets to it. So I will let you know what it's about a little bit more. But it says, so it kind of reminds me a little bit, I guess, of like, they're doing a thing like in The Martian where they had to go and stay on Mars for like 17 months or 17 months in the space and then go to Mars. And the borders between what is real and unreal begin to blur, and each astronaut is forced to confront demons past and present, even as they struggle to navigate their increasingly claustrophobic quarters and one another. Meanwhile, outside the world of the Prime Simulator, the sons, daughters, and spouses they left behind, an aspiring actress with an attitude problem, a lonely ambassador for robotic caregivers, and a teenage boy on perilous journey towards self-discovery must come to terms with their only sense of isolation, confinement, and desire. So there's a lot to it. So I'm excited to read it. Like I said, I never heard of it until book club came up with it, but hey. All right, so last book I want to mention. So if I get through Lying Game, which I'm sure I'll finish for the next couple days, and The Wanderers, I'm going to have to pick at least one more book. I do want to read Ruth Ware's other book, is it Into the Woods or something like that? I'll put it here. But I might take a Ruth Ware break just so I can save her for October. But I would like to read The River at Night by Erica, let me see, Frencik. And I pulled it up on Goodreads here so I could read you a little bit about it. The River at Night, and it says a raw, relentless, and heart-poundingly real. And that little blurb was actually by Ruth Ware, so you know, I'm gonna like it. It is set against the harsh beauty of the Maine wilderness. The River at Night charts the journey of four friends as they fight to survive the aftermath. Hey there, editing Natasha here, who realized that partway through that video, my camera cut off. So, right where I was, The River at Night is what starts out as a hiking and rafting excursion in the remote Allagash Wilderness soon becomes an all-too-real nightmare. A freak accident leaves the women stranded, separating them from their raft and everything they need to survive. So when a night descends, a fire on the mountainside lures them to a ramshackle camp. That sounded country. Ramshackle camp that appears to be their lifeline. But as Winnie and her friends grasp the true intent of their supposed savior's long-buried secrets emerge, and lifelong allegiances are put to the test. To survive, Winnie must reach beyond the world she knows to the harness an inner strength that she never knew she possessed. So this looks like a really, really good book. So that is my October reading list. We're going to go back to original filming Natasha and my favorite YouTuber. And for my favorite YouTuber, that is a segment we do every video where I mention a YouTuber to you that I really enjoy and would like to share with you. I'm going to give you Abigial Navarette. She is great. She's a newer YouTuber, been around maybe a little over a year, and she does a lot of book reviews, things like that. She also does hauls and beauty stuff, things like that, an eclectic bit of a channel, but lots of book stuff. So that's why I wanted to mention her here. But go check her out, let her know that I sent you. All of her stuff will be linked down below. And I think that is it. I think I have spoken enough. I apologize if this video was a little like all over the place, but I'm doing the best I can right now. It is like dreary outside and just, it is weird. It looks like it would be dreary and gross and cold outside, but it is dreary and gross and hot, like balmy, like the heat hits you in the face. And I'm not enjoying that, not digging that at all. And it's just, there's shadows everywhere. And I'm babysitting a dog that likes to bark. So anyway, I'm gonna go now. Have a great day, gorgeous.